we've discussed in the past as well that normally when we see a leadership change, it's a case of a re-rating for the stock as well. So I've looked at the data since the start of 2021, and this is a BSE 500 data. Across the BSE 500 companies, more than 100 companies have seen a change of guard in the last 4-5 years. And interestingly, more than 20 companies have seen a stock price reaction between 30 to 200%. So that's the kind of reaction you see in the stock price, or the re-rating that you see in the stock price. But there are some companies which have given more than 200% return as well in the same period. So I'll start with that list first. The first stock on my list is Persistent System. Look at the kind of reaction to the stock price. The stock is up 850% since Sandeep Kalra took over as a new MD and CEO in October 2020. 850% in the last 4 years. That's the first stock. We've seen a big reaction there. Next in the list is, no, this is not Persistent System. The second on the list is Newgen Software. They got a new CEO in 2021 and the stock has reacted 285%. The third on the list is Himadri Chemicals. That stock is up 500% since the new CEO came in 2022. Again, a big move there. The next stock is Zensa Technologies. Even the company saw a new leadership change in 2023, and since then the stock is up 275%. These are the few names which have rallied between 300 to 800% in the limited period of time. So that's the kind of data, you know, which proves that a leadership change leads to a big re-rating. Remember, this is the BSE 500 data. If I look at NSE, one stock which will stand out for me is Bombay Stock Exchange. It's only listed in NSE, and we've seen a massive reaction to that stock price as well, but that doesn't show up in the data. So now the question is, will the history repeat itself? And that's something to watch out for. Which are the few companies where there has been a leadership change announced, and can that stock see the re-rating in the near future? The first on my list is HUL. A woman CEO now, Priya Nair, has been appointed as a new CEO on July 10. So need to see in the next few quarters whether you see a big re-rating in the stocks like HUL. The next stock is Cyient. Even Cyient announced a new CEO in February 2025. The stock is still not reacted, but we'll have to wait and see as to what the strategy is for Cyient going forward, and will the stock react or re-rate further from here on. Titan, we all know that there's going to be a fresh change of guard from January of 2026. Across the various verticals, you're going to see new CEOs in Titan as well. So Titan will be the stock to watch going forward. Across, as I said, you know, watches business as well as jewelry, there are going to be new CEOs there. The next on my list is Cyient DLM. Again, you know, they've appointed a new CEO in July 1st. So again, fresh appointment, but we'll have to see whether going forward even that stock re-rates or not. And the last but not the least on my list is Max Financial Services. Sumit Mandal has been appointed as a new MD and CEO of Axis Max Life, which is the insurance arm of Max Financial. They are going to see a new CEO from October of 2026. So again, massive changes are happening, and we've seen big reactions to the stock prices as well. History suggests a change of guard leads to re-rating. So we need to see if there is a fresh change of guard in many companies. Only recently we saw a big reaction to something like, for Arvind Fashion as well, right? I mean, we saw a big reaction to that when they appointed a new woman CEO. So history suggests that a leadership change normally leads to a big re-rating in the stock price as well.
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC TV 18 on all of our digital platforms.